United fans, Chelsea fans, City fans, Barcelona fans, Real Madrid fans all contrive to hate Arsenal. Now, why is Arsenal hated? I don't know why. Even as a United fan, I wish Arsenal can take the league this season. I don't want them to bottle. But these guys here, with a United fan, and other fans from all other teams, they hate Arsenal. My reason is why. Welcome back to JSN. This is the Juma Sports Network. Subscribe to the channel, like our videos, and share them. But why do you hate Arsenal? I want your answers in the comment section below. But why do you hate Arsenal? Why the hate? Why is Arsenal hated? Why is it that other teams? Why do you want City to win the league and they are our neighbors in Manchester, and you don't want Arsenal to win the league and they're not even our neighbors?
I think the main cause of the hate is the fan base.
Which fan base?
The fan base, the Arsenal fan base. Because let's be realistic, mate. Their team have been good enough this season for them to maintain the number one spot and still be in the Champions League final. But they've, I think the fans are kind of over. How am I supposed to say? They are kind of overhyping their club, because when they start comparing this Arsenal to the greatest Premier League clubs that have lifted the Premier League trophy,
yes,
then I think that is where the hate comes from. Because we need to accept that Arsenal have been playing the most annoying football we've ever seen a Premier League champion play. Then for them to win the league, that's it. Whatever you do, you do. But the fans are now believing that they have a team that can be categorized as one of the best Premier League teams in Premier League history. But I don't think if they can be categorized in that category, because I think in Arsenal history, then they might fit in the best Arsenal team ever.
Yes.
But in the Premier League,
not even in the Arsenal history.
Yeah.
Bro, Arsenal has taken the Invincibles. You can't fit there. Yeah. You can't fit Saka there. You can't fit anyone there.
No, Ian Wright said if they win the league and they win the Champions League, then they might go down as the best Arsenal team in Arsenal's history. In Arsenal's history, they might be considered the best.
Do you think it is?
For me, I don't think it is. But
I don't think that guy is mad.
That was Ian Wright's opinion, and remember,
and he's mad.
Ian Wright was in the Invisible.
And he's mad. The guy is mad.
Yeah, so that was his opinion. But I'm just saying, we cannot compare this Arsenal team with the prime Manchester City, prime Liverpool, prime United, the prime Arsene Wenger, prime Chelsea and Jose Mourinho. We can't even compare them to the prime and Pochettino.
Bro, because the prime Invincibles was something else. You can't start telling me about the current Arsenal.
How can you extract over 30 goals from a corner and you've got a goal difference of 40-something goals? So that means basically the corners have contributed to more goals, more than the open play goals. So this simply means that you guys are poor offensively, good defensively, courtesy of a good goalkeeper, and we cannot just compare this Arsenal team to the elite Premier League club.
Yes,
because that is what is so annoying with the fans.
That Arsenal was so good.
Yeah, they were so good.
From 1998 to 2007.
Yeah,
that they came to the Champions League finals. And they lifted 3 league titles. One of them being Invincibles.
Yeah. And even having players that can score over 20 goals plus.
Yes.
We can't even remember.
Not even 20. Thierry Henry held a record of scoring over 30 goals.
Over 30 goals.
So, in the Premier League, a midfielder.
A midfielder.
Something else.
The last time we saw that happening to Arsenal was when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was still in the team.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he won a Golden Boot.
Yes.
And was it Arsene Wenger or Mikel Arteta? Not Wenger. Unai Emery. So I think ever since Arsenal have been very poor offensively, and I think they've been having very, very bad options up front. And I think the fan base is what makes us to hate the club most, because they're now comparing Gyökeres to Erling Haaland, comparing Saka to Kvaratskhelia and Yamal. I mean, man, come on, man. We can't even debate about these players, man. How can you compare either to Bruno Fernandes? How can you compare flopping players to players who are performing regardless of their team's positions, right? We have to give everybody his flowers. We have to accept that Arteta has been doing his best for Arsenal to be there, right? Yes. So we might say it's somehow courtesy of other teams being on bad form, like for example Man City. Because if Arsenal were competing with the prime City, it wouldn't have been a competition anymore. It would have been a case of Arsenal being comfortable on the number 2 spot. But with this Manchester City...
But something else. Yeah. Even with Prime City, Arsenal used to bottle. It means they were competing. They were heading the title and then battling it.
But you have to understand the gap wasn't that close as this one. It wasn't as close as this one. Because when City came for it, they came for it and they gave Arsenal a gap of 4 or maybe 5 points. Yes. But this one, if City are going to overtake them, they're going to win by a goal difference. So City are currently even struggling to to do what?
Now, where is the hate coming from?
The
That's
hate is coming from the fan base. That's what I'm telling you, man. The fan base are overhyping their players, and I think
what about United overhyping their players? People like Masagara are overhyping everyone in Manchester United.
I don't.
It's not only for Arsenal fans.
I don't support that, and that is why at times you see me hating on some United players, man. When you're not good enough for United, you're not good enough for United. I mean, if this Arsenal team could be winning the league, and I used to hate City to some point when they were dominating on the Premier League, yeah. But then I sat down at some point and watched how good City were. I said, "What, man? Let's give these guys their flowers. These guys are so good. They are so good
to useless teams at the time.
Even if we were useless, but they were so good. Bro, City was scoring over 100 goals.
Yes.
City are not struggling to score goals.
Useless teams
scoring goals. Yeah, but Arsenal have been facing the useless teams and being knocked out of the FA Cup with Southampton. That never happened to City.
Wait. Did City win consecutive FA Cups during all that time?
City.
They didn't.
No,
they didn't. So you can't claim Arsenal are useless for losing that. Because City didn't win.
I'm saying City never lose to Southampton on an FA Cup.
City lost to Wigan.
Yes,
City lost to Wigan.
City lost to very useless teams during that time. And the excuse people gave was that Pep anapumzisha players. No, that's nonsense.
Okay. Regardless, during Pep's reign, during Pep's reign, how many FA Cups do City have? 4. They've won 4 FA Cups. And how many league titles? 5 league titles, right? And how many Champions League? 1 Champions League Cup. We are comparing an Arsenal side that in the last 6 seasons, they've won nothing. So we can't compare these guys to the Prime City.
The problem we are facing, we are not comparing Arsenal to Prime City.
But
Arsenal fans are just saying their club, their club is leading the title race right now, whether we like it or not.
They are, man. But we should also acknowledge that this Arsenal side it's not good enough to be categorized among the best clubs ever seen in England.
Even if they're not good enough, they're going to take the title.
That is why I've told you, when Liverpool were winning the league last season.
Now, by the way, someone said this. Yeah? You better claim, someone said after the West Ham game, he said, you better claim Arsenal are thieves than claiming they are butlers. So they better be thieves and win this league.
But we have to accept, it's hard to come to an agreement with the fans that this club is not good enough to be compared to clubs like the Prime United. Because if you see a United, an Arsenal fan comparing the 2008 United with the current Arsenal, then I think it's...
that United was producing Ballon d'Or contenders and winners.
And then if you look at Arsenal fan arguing from that perspective, from that perspective, and at times I do think that most of the fans have got very shallow knowledge of football, and I think it's so much love for the club that they support that they can't even sit down and try to reason. Because if you can't, how are you going to compare a team that has a number 10 that has got 3 goals and 4 assists being compared to a team that had a wing back like Trent with over 10 assists in a single season, and he's a wing back? And
Brian, come here. I want to also ask you, do you hate Arsenal?
No, me.
I don't hate Arsenal. We don't hate Arsenal. We hate the fan base. So
how can you hate? Why? If they lose, go and hate the fan base. Stop hating Arsenal.
So Arsenal,
go and hate the fan base.
Arsenal are representing everything.
For me, I would say Arsenal deserve to win this trophy.
Yes, bro.
Regardless of what they are doing.
Yes.
Corners, fouls, or cheating.
I want Arsenal
whatever.
Because our neighbor City have been winning everything. It is very unscrupulous
and
for them to continue winning.
And also, we want this league to be competitive.
Yes,
it's competitive, man.
It is not.
It's competitive.
How can it be competitive when City are taking this thing?
Won the league last season.
City won 4 times in a row.
So that we become competitive.
Where was Arsenal?
City won 4 times in a
row.
Where
was the fuck was Arsenal? Where was Manchester United? That's my question.
That means it's not competitive. We want it to be competitive.
It is.
It's not.
It's just a City were dominant.
No, we don't. One team being dominant means it's not competitive.
It's competitive.
Yes, it's not,
bro. You know, during that time, how many Champions League finals did Liverpool reach?
2, 3.
Yeah. So you can't say that the Premier League was not competitive.
You can't be competitive. It's just like La Liga. Yeah. 2 teams competing, Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's not competitive. It's nonsense.
And
it's a farmers league.
And at that time, it was just Real Madrid. It was just City and
Liverpool.
And Liverpool.
But I'm telling you, Liverpool were in the Champions League final for 3 for
it's
for
because
three
City
finals.
City were not doing anything in Europe. They were being
But they
removed
won
by
a-
teams like
no,
Roma and
no,
what.
Bro, City went to 2 finals.
Yes.
One against Chelsea.
Okay.
So okay.
And they
you,
lost.
You have to understand.
And they lost.
within the 6 years or 7 years that Pep has been in England.
Yes.
City have been to 2 Champions League finals.
Yes.
And Liverpool have been to 3 Champions League
Finals.
We only have 2 years left, and I've been telling you, Premier League sides were good in Europe, and United had managed to go into 2 Europa League finals. Arsenal and Chelsea also participated in 2 Europa League finals. So we cannot say that the Premier League was not competitive.
Yeah, it was
we
not.
had teams that were capable of.
These were Nyasis.
City were just dominant.
All of these guys were Nyasis.
City were just dominant, bro.
They were
City
Nyasis.
were thrashing
dominant.
people
No.
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0.
They were
How
Nyasis.
can you win? How can you win a Champions League and say
They were
you were
Nyasis.
Nyasis?
They were
Chelsea
Nyasis.
won the UEFA Champions League Cup
And Chelsea were also
against the
Nyasis.
same City.
They were Nyasis.
Against the same City.
Chelsea were the Nyasis
But
of that.
it was against the same City, man. So I don't see
Because
the reason of excluding these other clubs.
let's
Because why didn't we go for good players? Why didn't we go for good coaches?
bro, we went for good players.
Exactly. So
Pogba was a good player.
Pogba was a good player.
Yes.
And then what was
At
the
that
problem?
time, Fernandes. Now the team was just useless. I mean,
It
you know,
didn't just work out.
it didn't just work out. When
Is
Ferguson left
is
United,
is that City's
United
fault?
became a shell of itself.
Is that City's fault?
When Chelsea, you know,
No, is that City's
even
fault?
when United was winning, it was not City's fault that United was winning.
Exactly. That's
Anyway,
the point. Exactly.
anyway,
That's the point. Yeah.
Guardiola has won this league, these leagues in the Premier League's most uncompetitive
Era.
history and era. I can't, and I'm praising because the only reason I'm praising him is because this guy has done at back at the same thing, at Bayern the same
At
thing,
Bayern the
and
same thing,
replicated
and
it at City.
yeah, and
So
City-
he's one of the he's in fact the best coach.
Yeah. And he has won the Champions League with Manchester City.
But
Just two finals,
my best coaches are
one win.
Mourinho and Ferguson. then I'll put that guy.
Anyway, follow the page, man. Subscribe to the channel also. We have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
You'll find the link in the comment section.
Now subscribe, Apple.